All right, herp nerds, let's do this. Welcome to class on Monday. We got a lot of stuff to do today. It's going to be awesome. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Unfortunately, the weather is just not conducive to reptiles emerging, so it does not look like we're going to have a chance to go look for some snakes again this week, but we'll probably get back to it next week. We'll see what the weather's like on Wednesday, but certainly no snakes are out moving today. We got a lot to cover today, some new stuff and kind of revisiting some things that we've worked on in the past. And what I want to do, and well, here's what our agenda looks like to get us started. Sorry, I'm having trouble here. There's a couple awards and prizes that you can apply for. I want to give you some information on that. You probably heard about this from other classes. We're going to do a practice quiz on frog calls in the same format of your quiz on Wednesday. And then we're going to go back. We did that performance experiment with the Podarcis lizards some weeks ago at this point. I'm going to go back and finally walk through an analysis of those data. And then we're going to workshop your primary literature. Actually, I'm going to change this. Do I want to change this? I'm not sure yet what order we're going to do these two things in. We'll figure it out. I've just got some wrap-ups and reminders for you. So before we get into it, the Department of Biological Sciences offers a $500 award to a graduating student going on to graduate or professional school in the biological sciences. If you fit that category, I'd encourage you to apply. You can get the QR code here. You can see two of recent awardees of the Cass Willis Prize are going on to do great things in grad school right now. Actually, just saw Abby Turner has her like second or third first author paper accepted for publication. She graduated like 2 years ago. She's rocking it in grad school. Anyway, if you fit that description, go ahead and scan that or just talk to me. I can give you more details. Also, this may be relevant to many of you. How do you, if you're taking a field course or having like a field experience this summer, there is a chunk of money that's available for you to apply for to support you in that. So again, you can scan that QR code and I can help you figure out, learn more details about that program as well. So two cool things to think about as you move forward. Some of you graduating. So how many of you are graduating? Dang, herpetology is going to be a lot smaller after graduation. I assume the rest of you are just going to stick on through the summer, right? Keep meeting every Monday and Wednesday. Cool. Okay, that sounds great. All right, get out a blank piece of paper, please, or other place where you can jot down notes. This is not something you're going to hand it to me just for your own good, but we're going to do a frog call quiz. And I wanted you to try to do it without any references or notes or anything like that, because this is how your quiz on Wednesday is going to look. Sid, you had your hand up. Go ahead. No. Yep, functional morphology and thermal biology are included on there. We haven't really gotten to thermal biology. So no, it's functional morphology, local herps, and frog calls. Yep.
Is there a way for you to possibly put these up early?
Oh, let me actually, they're already up, actually. I just haven't told the class yet. Okay. Yeah, but it's all right, get your piece of paper ready. And Miss just asked me, and Sam had asked me earlier, and I forgot to tell the class, but up on Blackboard, under readings and resources, there's a folder that has an MP3s of a whole bunch of frog calls. Because I know that they don't come through well in the recording for Zoom. So you can find all of those up there. They're not all of the ones that I use, and they're not all of the ones we covered, but it's most of them. By and large, you can also just do a YouTube search for whatever species frog call, and it'll come up with something. If there's anything in particular you're not being able to find, let me know. But I put like, I think there's like 12 or 15 MP3s up on Blackboard for you. So use that as a resource. Thanks for asking. Sound good? We ready? All right, let's do it. Frog call number one. Please. Wait for it. Yeah, sure. It's species native to Ohio. It's not like any frog in the world. I'm not even that crazy. Yeah, no, it's not playing for me. Give me 1 second. Oh, good question. I haven't decided that yet. You should be ready to write out the names, though. Always. Always. Sorry, but well, if these speakers don't work, it's gonna be a lot easier for you. I've never had problems with these. Hang out. Hang out. All right, guys. I don't know why this is not working for me. Try this one. It's not, in fact, muted on my computer.
So like volume on the volume mixer, there's something coming out.
Hold on. So that's coming out of my computer. Okay. Don't worry about it. I'm going to play it back for you. Yeah. Just going to play all of them. So it's works. So PowerPoint works. My computer works. For whatever reason, I can't play it on the classroom speakers. Oh, this is not optimal. Oops. Fixed it.
I can't remember. Do we know?
Did we say green frogs? No, I don't think we did. No, we just did this last week and they were just fine. I'm really sorry. Okay, I know a solution. So can I ask you a favor? Will you run to my office and there's a little like conical USB speaker in there? Would you grab that? It's just on, it's next to my monitor in my office.
You can always mimic the noise.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the noise. Wah, 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 wah. We need to get, see if you can find Wyatt. We do this one? This is number 1. Did we do this one in class? I think we did. Yeah, we did. I think we did. Yeah. Let me play it again on my, it's on my computer speakers. This is number 1. All right, that was number 1. Transfer down. That is the northern green frog, Lithobates climatans. So we did see one of these. Oh, come on. We did see this guy.
No, we didn't. We saw bullfrog.
Oh, we saw bullfrog, didn't we?
Yeah.
Ah, psych. I swear we did this one. Okay, sure.
I thought we did too, but
Yeah, leopard frog. Yeah, okay. Well, here's a new frog for you. Lithobates climatans. This one won't be on the quiz. Sorry, I'm just got to mix it up. This guy won't be on the quiz, but we're gonna know it for the future. So it's a little practice for you. All right, number 2. Okay, let me play that one more time just to make sure this new speaker works. Working great, thank you. Damn it, now nothing's working. Like, seriously? There we go. All right, we got that for number 2. That is the Western Chorus frog, Pseudacris triceriata. Remember triceriata? It's got the 3 stripes, little guy. We all heard it at, well, everyone that went on trips heard it. Well, everyone. We heard it at Gallant and we heard it at Stratford in the evening. Number 3. We heard this one across the street a little bit at Gallant Woods at night as we were leaving, but I didn't put it up there. I didn't give you a lot of the natural history. We did talk about it's called, this is the American toad, Anaxyrus americanus. Or it sounds like the little like floating spaceship kind of thing. I don't know. It sounds like it. It does like it. It's so weird. Yeah. It does. It exactly. It sounds just like that. It's like when you realize that the Tuscan Raiders on Tatooine are just donkeys, and you can never unhear the fact that when they yell. Oh my gosh. We did not. Apis crepitans, the eastern cricket frog, this little guy here. We did not see it, but they're in the area. Oh, and well, I'm going to ask you for the scientific name. So, if I did ask for a common name and you said cricket frog, yeah, good. Let's actually go through. Lithobates climatans family. Rhinidae. So what other species in that family? Which is Lithobates pipiens. Yep. And then the bullfrog, which is Lithobates pitesvianus. Yep. Then we got Pseudacris triceriata family. Hylidae, good. Anaxyrus americanus family. Hylidae, Acris crepitans. Hylidae, good, good. What's another frog in Hylidae, one that we saw and heard? Peepers, and there's tree frog. This is number 5. Hard one we did not see. Lithobates sylvaticus, the wood frog. Yeah, so that one, these guys, I didn't talk about them much. They're famous for being super freeze tolerant, like freezing tolerant. Like they just get little frogicles and they thaw out and they can hop away. It's pretty neat. Oh, which reminds me, I had a video of painted turtles I wanted to play for you last week and I forgot to play it. We'll come back to it. But yeah, wood frog call number 6.
This one, you got this. Gotta love that sound. Every time you hear that, you can picture little 7-year-old Eric sitting in my room by myself, my bullfrog record. Spoiler, yep. Bullfrog, with the babies, Thespianus family. Wednesday, yep. Okay, last one on the practice frog call quiz. Quiet and clean. No, this one.
Yes.
Bakers, Lithobates, Hippians, the northern leopard frog. This is one we heard at the very end of the night at Stratford. Those of you there, we turned our headlights off and sat in the dark a little bit to the on. That's probably my favorite part of the whole day, actually. That was pretty cool. So those are some examples. I'll have anywhere from 4 to 8 calls in the quiz. I'm not sure exactly. I will ask you for the scientific names to make sure you know those. I may ask you, like, since I'm also part of the quiz is to know some of the natural history of the native Ohio herps, I may ask you a question, like I may build on questions. I may say, you know, play you the sound of this frog and say, what's the name of this frog? What family is this frog in, or something like that. So you can expect to know those species and their families. Yeah.
Are we gonna need to know something from, like, before this, like, anything on the salamanders or like?
So the quiz, what's on the quiz is outlined in your class program, and I have a slide for it later today, but it covers functional morphology, native Ohio herps, and frog calls explicitly. And the native Ohio herps is by and large what we went over in lecture last week, Wednesday, when we were debriefing the field outing. So in terms of salamanders, it's what we've seen on our trips. So spotted salamander, smallmouth salamander, eastern redback salamander, and then the frog species, the interns we've seen, and then the painted turtle and the northern brown. So just those ones. Lennon?
So for like the eastern water, western, we remember those or.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I'm going to ask you for Latin names generally. If we do go with common names, I'm okay with just calling this the leopard frog or the forest frog or the green frog. That's how I kind of commonly say it anyway. What you don't want to do is say like that's the southern leopard frog, because there actually is a species called the southern leopard frog that's different. But I'm okay for common names with dropping that. Probably a little bit sloppy of me, but you're not complaining. Okay. Good question. All right, this is what I would like to do. What time is it? It's 2:30. I want to prioritize moving through your, I'm going to actually skip this for now. We're going to come back to it. And instead, I'm going to move to our primary lit number 2 assignment workshop. So you had a draft of that due today. All of you submitted it, I hope, in a Google form before class, or what you did was share the link to the Google Doc with me. Now I have all of that information. What we're going to do today is give you a chance to workshop your project here, and specifically the summary. This is the part that I'm really most interested in you developing. And I haven't looked at these submissions yet. It was due right before class, but especially those of you that are maybe interested in submitting to the Herp review, this is where your summary goes from being pretty good to really good to great. So what we're going to do is this. My expectation is that we're going to spend 30 minutes of focused working time giving other students feedback, and that's going to be a minimum of 2 other student summaries. And I'm doing it this way. In the past, I've done the workshop. I've said, okay, take time and work with 2 other students' summaries, and then when you're done, move on. I'm going to do it instead of being like a number of things to do based workshop. We're going to do a time-based workshop. 30 minutes can be a kind of a long time, but you can do it. And the idea is you're going to trade with other students and read their summaries and have them give feedback on yours for this amount of time. And I think at the minimum, I expect you to give feedback on 2 other student summaries. You may give up to even 4, probably not more than 4 in 30 minutes. Now, what you're doing here is you're providing feedback on their summary against the assignment, meaning like, are they fulfilling the goals of the assignment? And you're all your own. At the beginning of the semester, we spent some time developing criteria for what makes a good summary, what should be included in it. And then also you're just a peer reviewer. You're the target audience for these kinds of summaries. You're people that are interested in the topic and you're versed in scientific language, but you're not experts in whatever particular subfield this is, right? And so you're giving feedback to help with people with everything, your classmates with everything from, I don't know, spelling and punctuation to like developing ideas to making sure sentences are clearly structured and that kind of thing. You can do this directly in Google Docs. So you can don't use the edit feature because that's not really helpful because they won't see it. You can suggest changes or you can just make comments, however you feel like is most appropriate. You can do that right in their Google Doc. And so throughout the class today, this will become a little bit layered. So, you know, if Chase reads Mason's paper to start, and then Ethan reads Mason's paper, he's going to see Chase's comments on top of that. And that's fine too. You can build off of each other. Please keep a list of everyone's paper who you give feedback for, because at the end of class, you're going to have a survey and I'm going to ask you, whose paper did you provide feedback for? So just make sure you're noting that as you work through, especially if you work through 3 or 4 of them. After we do this as a group, we'll take a short break, and then you're going to take 20 minutes to review the comments you got from your peers. If something doesn't make sense, they're sitting right here. You can clarify with them and answer a couple questions just about the workshop. So you can take that away with you. So this whole thing will take probably close to an hour or so, which means we might not then have time to do our other thing we're going to do in class today. So we're going to put that off yet again. We'll see. Maybe we'll just get it started today. We can finish it next time. Overall, your participation and specifically completion of the survey is worth 8 class points today. So what you're going to have to do is kind of self-organize a little bit and share these Google Docs with each other. You're all good at stuff, so you can do it. If anyone needs a laptop, well, actually, I don't know if there's one in the lab. Athena, do you know if the lab laptop is in there by any chance? You might have it. Okay. If you don't have a laptop and need something to work with, talk to me and we'll figure it out. I'll go grab. We have a computer downstairs, don't we?
Yeah.
It's not collecting data right now. We're good.
No.
Yeah. So talk to me. Otherwise, let's see. Let's just go. It's 2:30. Let's crank away and give feedback until 3 o'clock, and then we'll regroup and take it from there. Sound okay? All right. Those of you watching the recording, I'm just going to pause this here. Otherwise, we're going to have 30 minutes of.
Resume recording. So this is in the recording, and I'm going to back up and say this stuff again. So we have everyone's attention for a minute. Good. You just finished giving each other feedback, and our next step is to look at those comments and suggestions, improve your summary, and complete a end of workshop survey. I'll give you the link to that in just a minute. The revision for this assignment is due by Friday of this week. Now, you don't need to do anything to submit it. You've already sent me a link to the Google document, so you're going to make revisions on that same document. So you don't need to do anything else. Just know that on Friday, I'll assume that you've made the revisions, and I'll start grading the assignments. So note that. And yeah, so what you can do now is take 20 minutes. Here's a QR code. It's also in your class program for Wednesday, and complete a survey whereby you share information about whose summaries you read and just a quick reflection on the survey or the workshop today. So we're going to take 20 minutes and do this. So I'm going to say till about 20 after according to this clock, which I know is a little bit off. This time too, if you want to take a break and stretch your legs and use the restroom, get a drink or whatever, let's do that during the same 20-minute interval. So again, this link is in your class program for Friday. So if you want to not do it on your phone and pull it up on your computer, that might be a little bit easier as well. Great. So let's take 20 minutes and do that. It's independent work time. All right. I'm going to bring us back together as a class here. Please make sure you get this reflection in basically today. I mean, the idea was you spent the last 20 minutes making sure you got that in. I'll look those over and remember that's 8 class points for participation in the workshop, giving feedback, receiving feedback. And then by Friday, I will look over those assignments and get you your grade for primary lit assignment 2. And then we have one more of these to do at the end of the semester. We're going to be focused on papers on reptile or amphibian learning, cognition, and social behavior, which is kind of cool to get into that. I have a few announcements and just things to wrap up here today. I don't think I'm going to go and do that. Once again, I'm going to put off the data analysis, just looking at the clock and thinking about our timing recently. And I think I might just save that for Wednesday. Before I move on to some other things, any questions about primary lit assignment? Yes, Alan, please.
If you're moving up to Wednesday, we don't have to do the performance data analysis over again?
Yeah, once again, actually, I'll just show you. Here's your class program for Wednesday. Just to be explicit about this, thank you for asking. And you'll see here, the first thing is the data performance analysis. Don't do that. We'll get to this Wednesday. I want to take some time with it. I don't want to be rushed, and I just don't feel like, I just don't want to do that today. Secondly, this primary literature assignment number 2 reflection, you probably just did that. So you go there. Otherwise, there's no other specific assignment for Wednesday other than some details about quiz number 3. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about some upcoming things. Before we get to that though, I have like, you know how for weddings, they have like a save the date thing. I have a save the date for us. Go see Mud Puppies. Here we are. We're gonna seriously try it again. It's Wednesday, April 20th, so it's 2 weeks from Wednesday this week. Again, we're gonna try to go during the day, in the evening. Keep this on your calendar. I'll provide more details as we get closer, but we're gonna do the same thing that we've tried to do before. So keep that in mind. Obviously, the class time one is during class time, but in case you wanna go on the evening one, it's on your calendar. Otherwise, announcement here. Let's see, what do I got for you? Quiz number 3 is Wednesday. It covers, as I've said, functional morphology, local Iowa herps, and frog calls. It's in class, closed book. And I said be ready to go outside after. I say Iowa? God, I still do that all the time. Yeah, I left Iowa in 2017. And I still say Iowa. All that it's in my heart. No offense to Ohio. Ohio's got to step up its game if it wants to get a place there. I'll tell you that. Geez, that's so funny. I also taught, to my credit, I taught herpetology for like 5 years when I was in Iowa, and it's a lot of so my head gets in like Iowa species space. Anyway, but ignore this last bullet point about going outside after. I think what I'd like to do is the quiz will consist of frog calls, and it will consist of written part, right? And so what I think I'll do is do it at the end of class. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to just make the decision that I am going to start the frog calls at, just to make sure we have time, at 3:20. We'll do those first, and that'll take like, let's say, it'd probably only take like 5 minutes. Well, and then you'll have another 20 minutes. Yeah, we'll make sure everyone has a good amount of time. So we'll start that at 3:20. And then after that, you'll do the written part of the quiz, and you'll have probably another 20 minutes to do that. I don't know exactly. So that'll get us through the end of the class with a little bit of buffer. I'm giving you this information now because if you're arranging to take this at the testing center, what you can do is arrange to take it sometime before 2 p.m. or after 3:20 p.m. or after 3:30 p.m. And then you can be in here for the frog call segment from 3:20 to 3:30 approximately, if that. And then if you've taken the quiz already, or if you want to go to the testing center and do that, you can do that starting at 3:30. Am I articulating that clearly? And that way, if you've already taken the exam, the quiz at the testing center before class, then we do the frog calls and you can just chat. And this will make it a little more accommodating. And then with the quiz, if you finish the quiz, you're done, you can just go too, and then we don't have to stick around. Kind of be a little more efficient for everybody if we do it at the end of class. I see questions. Let me Sam and then Alan. Go ahead. I'll play them a couple times. Yeah, for sure. I'll make sure everyone gets it. We'll go through it pretty slowly. So it might take a little bit of time, even though there won't be, 40 frog calls. Alan, yeah.
So can I schedule to take Gilbert's part of the quiz at noon? Is that fine if I haven't done it already?
Absolutely. The only thing I wouldn't recommend doing is scheduling, if you're going to take it to the testing center, is scheduling it for like during class time at like 2:10 or something, because we're going to have class during that time. So a good time to schedule it is between 3:30 and 4, because that's like your normal class time where I know you don't have other classes, and we'll be done with it. We'll be done with the frog calls at that point, or anytime outside of that is fine, whatever works for your schedule. So if earlier works fine, that's great with me. I'm just trying to set it up so that it's kind of accommodating everybody, but also then easy if you are taking testing center, easier for you to do the frog calls here. Because it kind of needs to happen here. Sound okay? All right, next here is your revision is due by Friday. Damn it, I'm terrible with slides here. I made this and then I changed it because I'm wanted to do earlier. There we go. Friday, the 8th of April. And then reminder that I will have open hours next week if you want to stop in with any questions from noon to 2. Otherwise, that is all I think we're going to do today. In general, this class we meet a lot more minutes per week than most other classes of this amount of credits. And so since we usually are jamming everything in there, I think today, rather than start something new at this hour, we'll just call it quitsies now. And I will see everyone on Wednesday. We gosh darn it, we are going to do that analysis on Wednesday because that's super important. Let me know what questions you got, everybody. Thank you for your good participation in the workshop. I'll see you soon.